So then guys, we've just had WWDC 2025 where we've just had the announcement of iOS 26, iPadOS 26, macOS 26. But one of the big questions you might be asking is, well, where's the new hardware? Where are the M5 Macs? Where's that M5, M5 Pro, M5 Max, and even an M5 Ultra and the likes of, say, a Mac Pro? Were we meant to be seeing these at WWDC 2025? And if not, when are they coming out? Well, I can tell you now, they were not meant to come out at WWDC 2025. They're meant to start coming out at the end of this year. Now, first of all, the big question you might be asking is, how do we know it's going to be happening at the end of 2025 that we're going to get the new M5 chip? Well, we've actually had a leak in, here, as you can see, telling us that Apple are looking to manufacture the new M5 chip to come out at the end of 2025. When specifically the end of 2025? Well, I think we can look at the last 2 years as a good reference. So if we go back to 2023, when we got to the end of October time, we had a scary fast event then, and this was on October 30th. It gave us the announcement of the M3 chip, and this came available in the MacBook Pros. We had the M3, the M3 Pro, and the M3 Max, and then we also had the iMac updated with the M3 put inside of it too, and this came out in early November time. But then fast forward to 2024, well, the end of October time in 2024, we had 3 different events. And in fact, we had an M4 introduced into the likes of the iMac, and then after that, we had the likes of the Mac Mini with its brand new design introduced, and that had the M4 and the M4 Pro. And then the day after that, we had one more event again, and this showed us the MacBook Pros with the M4, M4 Pro, and the M4 Max inside. And all of these came out at the beginning of November time, 2024. So as you can see right here, it is more than likely that we're going to get the introduction shown to us of the new M5 the end of October time this year, but we'll probably be able to get our hands on the new M5 chips probably beginning of November time. Now, with this, you're probably wanting to know what kind of devices are we most likely going to see having the M5s put inside of it? Well, I think a big one on the cards right now is definitely going to be the MacBook Pros. It looks like Apple like to update their MacBook Pros sort of yearly if they can now, so once a year. And this is probably definitely going to be happening. We're going to get the M5, M5 Pro, and the M5 Max inside of it. And I'll go into the details about cores and things like this and how the chips can be made and RAM amounts a little bit later on. But what I'm going to say is, don't expect an update in design on the MacBook Pros this time around. It looks like that's going to be reserved for the M6 models coming out, and that with an OLED display and things like this. So yeah, what I would be saying, it's going to retain the current design that we've had ever since, say, the M1 Pro and the M1 Max back in 2021. That is what's going to be sticking around here then for that. But there's 2 other devices that may also get the M5 put inside of it, and even the potential of the M5 Pro, and that is obviously the iMac may get another refresh again to get the M5 put inside of it. Do remember that the iMac actually skipped out the M2 altogether. It never got it. It went M1 to M3, then M4. It may miss it again. We just don't know at this stage. And the other device is also the Mac Mini, and this is a very similar story. We had the M1 in the Mac Mini, then we got M2 and M2 Pro in the Mac Mini. It completely skipped out M3, but then we got M4 put inside of it. So again, there is a possibility that the Mac Mini could be upgraded as well to actually get the M5 and the M5 Pro put inside of it. But as leaks go closer to the date of October, November time, we'll be certain definitely if the iMac or the Mac Mini or both are going to get updated this time round. But what I would be saying definitely on the cards is the likelihood of the MacBook Pro. The other device to actually also get an M5 put inside it is the likes of the iPad, so not a Mac device. And what I'm going to say with this is that there is the potential it could come out if Apple decide not to, say, introduce an update to the Mac Mini or the iMac, in my opinion. They may bring out the iPad Pro, and they may also bring out the MacBook Pro with the M5. That could happen, but if we do get one of the other devices, I would actually say the iPad Pro with the M5 is probably going to be updated probably early 2026, probably January or kind of February kind of time. But with that, what I would also be saying is don't expect a new update design on the iPad. It just got a brand new design. The first time it got an update since 2018. I know we've had some enhanced with like mini LED displays and things like this, over that time. But, with the OLED display being super thin too, with the current, 13, 11-inch models, don't expect any big changes apart from literally the chip inside of it. But something that will definitely be coming out way before the M5 chips, and that is the actual giveaway we are doing on this channel for this right here. That's right, guys. I'm giving away a MacBook Air sky blue color 13.6-inch model, and I'm going to be giving this away to one lucky subscriber on this channel at the end of June time 2025. And it's really easy to enter into this giveaway at this stage. All you have to do is just put down into the comments below of what technology gear you're hoping to get in 2025. Maybe it is going to be yourself a new MacBook Pro or new M5 chip device when it comes out later this year. Maybe it's going to be the new Nintendo Switch 2. It's just about to come out. Maybe it's going to be something else like a DJI drone, or maybe it's going to be a new iPhone. Just let me know in the comments below. And the other part of the giveaway will be happening near the end of June time, where I'll give you more details about it, including a form to fill in, and also, most importantly, the date of when I'll do the live stream to give away this MacBook Air. And you'll definitely want to know the details about that. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell too, because you'll want to get that information. The last thing I just want to say, guys, about the actual MacBook Air that we have here, it's also not just a bin down standard version. What we've actually got in here is we've actually got the M4 full fat version. That's what I like to call it. 10-core CPU, 10-core GPU, and then also we have 24 gigabytes of RAM, not 16, and we've also got 512 gigabytes of storage, not 256. So it's been specced up a bit here to be given away to that lucky subscriber. The last thing I do want to say about the actual giveaway altogether is that sadly there are lots of scammers and spammers out there. People still impersonate you, tend to WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram direct message. Please do ignore these people. Best to see right here. Please do report them. So moving on from this then, what about enhancements we're actually going to see to the M5 over the M4? Well, the first thing I'm going to say is we've had a leak, as you can see right here, saying that TSMC are actually building the M5s right now on a new kind of processing mold. What they're actually going to do is actually going to build transistors on top of each other, kind of like a 3D kind of way of doing it. And this will actually give better performance and more efficiencies in a 3 nanometer block. So this is going to be really, really amazing to see that we're going to have that. So we could even see bigger gains here. Now, I'm personally going to see, overall in performance, we're probably going to see about 20 to 25% in performance gains here with the M5s compared to the M4. That's what we're probably going to see on this one. And I would also say for battery life, it will be an improvement, but I can't really imagine it being such a big improvement like what M4 was compared to M3. But with that though, what I also want to tell you about is what about the actual cores and the differences we're going to get there. Well, let's go through each different chip. So first of all, let's start out then with the M4 to the M5. So the M4, when it got introduced in the iPad Pro, well, that actually came with a 10-core CPU inside of it. And it was a first from Apple to do this on their baseline chip. So what we actually got inside of that was 6 efficiency cores and 4 performance cores. And more than likely for the M5, this is going to stay exactly the same. We're probably going to get 6 efficiency cores, 4 performance cores in the likes of the M5 MacBook Pro. We're probably going to get that. But where things may change is with the GPU this time round. In fact, we haven't actually had an increase in cores in the GPU ever since the M2 range. So this could actually be happening this time. Instead of having a 10-core GPU like we've had in the M4 right now, it could actually go up to a 12-core GPU this time round, what would be absolutely amazing to see inside of this. So that's what's going to be happening there. But then moving on to the next tier of Apple Silicon with the M series, well, that is the M4 Pro we have right now. And right now, we actually can get up to a 14-core CPU with this. And actually, funny enough, what we actually have with that is 4 efficiency cores, and then we have 10 performance cores. Now, Apple could actually increase this up to 16 cores this time round. And as you can imagine, probably will keep those 4 efficiency cores, but you could get 12 performance cores inside of it, what would be absolutely amazing. And the same with GPU, we've got up to 20 cores on the GPU, and it could go up by 2 more cores. Apple like to introduce around about 2 more cores or so on their sort of, all their cores and things like this. When they actually do an increase, they barely do like 1 core, something like this, unless it's a binned version, but that's a story for another day. But essentially, yeah, we could actually get up to a 22-core GPU on the M5 Pro, what would be absolutely amazing. But then what about the next tier after that? What about the M4 Max? Well, the M4 Max is an amazing chip right now. And actually you get up to a 16-core CPU with it right now. And the great thing about this is actually made of 4 efficiency cores and 12 performance cores. And this again could be increased by 2 more cores altogether, going all the way up to an 18-core CPU. More than likely, it'll be a very similar kind of situation where we'd get 4 efficiency cores and 14 performance cores inside of it. That would be absolutely amazing to see. And then with the GPU, right now with the M4 Max, where we've got a 40-core GPU, this will probably go up by 2 more cores again, and more than likely, it'll be a 42-core GPU that we'll get inside of it. But then finally, the last chip we could also see, but I'm going to say this won't come out this year, it'll probably come out in 2026, and that is the M5 ULTRA last. Now, if the M5 ULTRA is made like the previous M3 ULTRA, M2 ULTRA, and M1 ULTRA, where they stitched 2 of the Maxes together, well, we can kind of guess what we're going to actually get here. So with the M5 ULTRA, for CPU performance, we would probably get 8 efficiency cores with this. And then we'd also get 28 performance cores, which would be absolutely amazing, giving us a grand total of 36 cores with the CPU. And this would be mind-blowing to see here. And again, for the GPU, if it's going to be 2 M5 Maxes, the amount of cores it could go up to is actually up to 84-core GPU inside of it. What would be a first again from Apple to do this inside. And this would be absolutely incredible to see inside the likes of the M5 ULTRA. Now, moving on from this end, you're probably also wanting to know about RAM amounts. What's going to happen there? Well, personally, I don't think Apple are going to budge on RAM anytime soon. I think if anything, they're probably going to increase the lowest amount of storage might go up by a tier, but that's about it potentially into the future in the next generation. But again, that's a video for another day. But for RAM amounts, I believe like with the M5 standard version, you know, the baseline, it'll probably start at 16 gigabytes. And then for the M5 Max, I'll talk about the Ultra in a second, it'll probably go all the way up to 128 gigabytes of RAM, like what you can get right now with the M4 Max. But then what about the M5 ULTRA? Well, personally, I think it's going to be very similar to the M3 ULTRA. So I think it's going to probably stay at 96 gigabytes as the baseline, but you'll probably be able to, if you want to spend out an additional $4,000, you could go up to 512 gigabytes of RAM if you really, really want to do that. So yeah, just be aware of that one there, that obviously you'll have that massive increase if you wanted to choose that. But really, guys, that's what I mean by the all-out launch of the M5s. Really, we are going to be talking from M5 to, say, the likes of M5 Max probably coming out before the end of the year, but then obviously that M5 ULTRA probably more likely is going to come out in 2026. But what are your thoughts on the M5 chip? Does it sound like something that you want to get your hands on, a new Mac? Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up the video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. As always, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.